I thought you weren't allowed to call it couture unless you're technically couture.
Oh, that's right. Unless you're in the couture region of France.
Oh. The couture region of France.
Hi, this is Caitlin.
And this is Sharon.
And welcome to Real Housewives on Real Housewives, where we unravel housewives' story threads and keep the tea flowing.
So chic.
Hold on to your peaches.
This week, we're digging into Drew Sidora from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15.
So our verses this week are Drew versus Kandi, and the big important one, Drew versus Ralph.
Drew's an actress. She's worked since childhood. She is an aspiring singer. She was in the Step Up movie and on the soundtrack.
With one of our boyfriends.
Channing Tatum.
Yep.
That's Caitlin calls him. Yes. And I love the movie Step Up. So I was like, I was super excited that she was in it.
I went back and watched that.
Ralph Pittman is who she is married to, getting divorced.
It's complicated.
They have 2 kids together, and she has a child from her previous relationship.
Yep.
And they met while she was promoting the Crazy, Sexy, Cool, the TLC Story movie.
Kind of feel like that's a little like crossover almost with Kandi since she's written things for them.
Oh.
All right. So Drew's had a hard season. Her dad was really sick, so she was kind of missing in the earlier episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes through major marriage issues with Ralph. Let's start, because the Ralph thing is just such a big thing to leap into. Let's start a little bit with Kandi and kind of deal with that, and then we'll deal with Ralph. Just as a side note, I hate Ralph. Whenever I say Ralph enters the room in my notes, I always put the little vomiting emoji. I say it virtually. Yeah. Not a fan of the Ralph. Ralph, bleh. See, that's the sound that comes with Ralph. So,
hey, isn't Ralph like when they're like,
doesn't Ralph need to like throw up? Yeah, exactly. See, fits. Sometimes your name is, sometimes like you're just like that name really fits a person.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's true here.
Probably does.
All right. So Drew calls Kandi a liar. And Kandi does not like being called a liar.
Nope.
Because Kandi said that Drew kissed LaToya at Cynthia Bailey's 2020 bachelorette party. So this is a couple seasons ago. Kandi swears she saw it. Kenya also kind of says she saw it, but not like as straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Like she came down to get something for her daughter and like maybe caught something.
Mm-hmm.
Marlo claims that she saw it, but then reels it back to only 80% sure that she saw it because Drew was so firm in her belief that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is LaToya says at the reunion that it happened. Then she recants it in another interview and then Drew makes the point that Kandi kind of recanted it too. But when you watch that back, it's sort of like Candy's like, yeah, okay, it didn't happen. Like you can tell she's just like, all right, well, maybe I didn't see it, but she thinks she did. I mean, like it's obvious that she wasn't really going, oh, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So Drew, when they're in this, I just love, like when people are just like really looking for an excuse. Like I feel like that's what happened here. So Drew says that Kandi wanted to warm her up to the idea of this role. So Todd has this movie, Kandi's husband Todd, The Pass. Drew's going to star in it. And in it, she plays this woman who gets a pass to have a relationship outside of her marriage. She has it with a woman. So it's a lesbian relationship. So Drew claims that Kandi is making up this rumor to warm her up to the idea of the role.
Which just makes zero sense.
Yeah. What do we think about that?
Like, why would you want to make your star angry?
No, exactly.
Like, yeah.
And
she already agreed to do the role.
Exactly. So either she takes and does it or she doesn't. If you're uncomfortable with it, you don't do it. But,
exactly.
So it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I think it would have made more sense if she said like she was trying to drum up press for the movie.
Yes,
or like she was trying to create drama on the show so that the movie did better. Mm-hmm. But that's not what she claims. So again, whatever. It doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense. I
mean, I don't know. They go back and forth. At Bedroom Kandi, which is, Kandi's line of toys, LaToya comes to that event and they all go over to the side and they say, this didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Look, she's here. I brought her here. I don't know. How do you feel about it? I'm a little suspicious, to be perfectly honest.
I kind of think it did happen just because I kind of believe Kandi.
Yeah. So do we think that Drew is saying it didn't happen because her relationship with Ralph is problematic?
Because she's getting divorced and she just don't want to look bad, like she cheated. I think that's a possibility, yeah.
Because, Ralph is so like weird when she's talking about the lesbian scenes in the trailer.
He is.
That it's like, well, maybe, but he was also like oddly guy happy about it.
Yeah.
Lesbian stuff, love that. And it's like, so I don't know whether she just didn't want to like, I don't know, like fuel that with him, or whether she legitimately thought in a divorce it would come back that she cheated and she could lose, I don't know, something in the divorce.
But really, she just kissed them.
Exactly. I'm not sure I would call that.
Why would Kandi
work through that in therapy? And like, let's be honest about it.
What else could I'm like, okay, unless she was just whispering something to her,
right?
And Kandi saw that, but why wouldn't you say like, oh, well, I was whispering something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or what would you say? Like, it just looked like a peck to me. But like when I say I saw someone kissing, I mean, I would assume that would be like making out.
Yes, me too.
Not like I saw someone give a peck on the cheek.
Right. If I saw someone give a peck, like, that would be I saw someone.
Right.
I saw she kissed her.
Yeah.
That's or
and
just peck, give her a peck.
Yes, exactly. And there's like a way your arms would be.
Yeah.
Too. Like you're not just going to kiss someone
with your arms like behind
your hands folded in your lap. Yeah. So I'm sorry, but I believe Kandi on this. Like I just don't see why she would lie about it.
I don't either.
I mean, I don't want to call Drew a liar. And they're kind of mean and they say like she's sort of a storyteller and that she makes things up. I'm not sure that that's true. I just think that for some reason she doesn't want this to be true and she's written this own history in her head.
Agree.
I think she got to LaToya somehow. I guess I don't know why LaToya would necessarily lie for her though, but at the same time, that's kind of the vibe I feel like I get. I
agree.
Sorry, Drew. Okay, versus Ralph. So the background information, they start out the season claiming they're in a better place than last season. They have a song together called Already Know. She sings it. He produces it. They kind of say that like their happy place is in the music studio. There's a fun moment where there's a, crossover episode between the franchises where Drew performs with Real Housewives of Potomac, Candace.
Oh, yes, I was okay because Candace, I love Candace.
We love Candace.
And it was funny because it was only like 30 seconds.
And
everyone was kind of made fun of it because it was so short.
And then when we're like, well, we really just wanted more. And I'm like, I think that's kind of how we all felt. Like
it was a little odd. Short,
but it was nice of her to feature her.
Yes, it was.
It's funny because, I felt like Candace early on kind of got flack for not being like super professional or like that she was just kind of like starting out and wanting to sing, but could she really sing? But she looked so professional at the event and Drew looked kind of like the up and comer that it gave Candace even more clout. I felt like, wow, Candace looks like a pro now.
Yeah.
It's just funny because we kind of saw her in the earlier phases and like to see her now, it's like, oh, look how far she came. Good for you.
Go Candace.
So Ralph, okay, one of the reasons that I hate Ralph, and there's many, but he's really controlling. And I think you get snaps of that during the show. So the big thing for me that bothers me a lot is that there's issues with her sister, Allison. So they are going to make this music video that was kind of the culmination of Drew and Allison's work together because Allison's her older sister, but she was her manager for a lot of years. And there was a time where Ralph had banned her from the house. So she had to go to the hospital, like I think it was during the pandemic for like a mental health break. But Ralph keeps going on and on about how much he was hurt by her sister. She made these serious accusations against him about being controlling and manipulative, which he then proved wasn't true by controlling and manipulating her sister into not being in their house.
Yeah.
So good job proving that, Ralph. And like, it makes me so mad because when he says, well, I don't want to trigger your sister.
I know.
It's like, okay,
like,
up yours. Yeah. But he does let her be there. And they actually have like a sweet moment when they do the music video, which everyone makes fun of because it's at the roller skating rink. And all I could think of was Jersey and everybody getting hurt.
Yeah.
But he gives his sister a hug and says like, I'm glad that you guys are back together and that you worked out. So like, I appreciate that it looks like, I don't know. Here's what I worry about with Ralph. I worry that he's like great at these little PR moments that makes stuff look good. He kind of does it at the reunion too.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful song. I just want
She's
Drew
so
to be
talented.
happy. She's just so great. It's like, do you believe anything Ralph says or it's not just me?
No, he comes off a little just like disingenuous. I don't know. Because I do believe him when he said when he said she's really talented. I believe that he meant that. But I also don't get this just totally loving, generous vibe from him either.
Because initially I remember kind of like checking to see where you were without wanting to tell you how much I hated Ralph. And I was kind of like,
I don't
initially
hate
you were
him
like,
as
I don't
much
think he's that bad.
as you guys.
Yeah. Last season he was really bad.
Yeah. So I don't hate him as much. I actually find it more entertaining. Just this whole thing about him leaving town where she didn't know where he was. When
3 days.
Like when you're on a show, like
I have an idea.
It boggles my mind.
I think he and Courtney were at the Olive Garden and the Holiday Inn down in Tampa.
Holiday Inn. Oh my God. I want to be at the Olive Garden.
I know. I do so bad. Let's bye, guys. We're going to the Olive Garden.
I'd hang out with Ralph if he took me to the Olive Garden.
I wouldn't. Sorry. I like the Olive Garden, but I don't like Ralph.
Well, we see what you really think.
I'll go with you to the Olive Garden. I will not go with Ralph to the Olive Garden. He would ruin the Olive Garden for me. I'm not going to let that happen. No. Ralph sucks.
But breadsticks are so good.
I have big personal issues about Ralph. So they're in Portugal. The other issue that comes up a lot for Drew this season is this is such a confusing story. This is another one of those where I'm like, are we getting the full story? Mm-hmm. Which I guess is kind of maybe another theme of Drew's this season.
Yeah, are we getting the full story?
Exactly.
Because the whole thing with LaToya.
Yes.
And then with Ralph.
Yes.
Are we getting the full story?
Exactly. And then with
Courtney,
the chef /
chef
babysitter. So there's like this chef that came in to audition. I mean, they have like a full-time chef in their house.
Which is awesome.
Such a life goal.
I know.
But she comes in and she brings like pans of food. And according to Ralph, there's like wig hair left in, like weave hair, like big chunks of hair. Like a piece of the weave.
I thought it was just like a piece of hair.
No, like a chunk of hair.
Okay, here's the thing. If she was a really amazing chef, I think you would just be like, this was so good, but there was a chunk of hair.
Yeah.
Can you get the chunk? Can we not do that again?
The way they describe it makes me seem like she just
wasn't
like
good.
She's a clout chaser.
Yeah, it made me feel like she was. It's not like the weave hair was the issue. It's like she sucked.
Yes, exactly.
And she had hair.
And then it's also like, clearly chefing wasn't her passion because then she said
she's also like does babysitting on the side or
laundry.
Do you have
any other positions?
Yeah, like what
kind of an interview is this? And so when she didn't so then they tried it, but she didn't talk to the kids. She like got in and made herself a plate and sat down.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So
that would be me. They'd be like, that's how I babysit. Like, I got to talk to the kid.
Plate of pasta.
Yeah.
So that didn't work. But then she's suing them for $1,000. And so Drew's really upset in Portugal, and Kenya's like, well, can we how much is that divided by the group?
That was really funny.
Let's just pay for it, make it go away. And she's like, no, there's more of an issue
and then
to it.
They say it was $10,000 later.
Yeah. I can't decide if it just looked bad, if this girl knew something extra that she was hiding, or I don't know what happened there. I mean, but I think the problem is I don't think Drew's as upset about that as she is about everything going on with Ralph. And that it all kind of gets stuck together when they're in Portugal. And we also kind of learn, like, the producers are kind of like, well, is there something you're not telling us? And, like, she's talking about, again, there was this part where Ralph went off to like maybe be in the show Magic Mike spinoff or whatever in Vegas. And like,
which is funny because she works with Channing Tatum.
Right. Yeah, she could, if he'd asked, maybe she could have gotten him into the show, but he didn't. But I think the bigger thing is, it just, like she says, our foundation is wobbly, so everything is going to create a wedge between us, which is just true. I mean, you can see it when they're talking about what happened in Vegas. You can see it when they go on that bowling date and they just can't. They're not on the same page. And there's starting to be like animosity there. And it's like you can tell they're kind of reaching a point of no return.
Yeah. It's like everyone watching is like, just get divorced.
Absolutely. Like, just get off our screen. And then it's like, my other favorite moment, it's like that one couple that went on New Jersey and they went to therapy that one time and it totally fixed them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, Drew's still going to therapy and Ralph's like, well, I haven't, but I've been doing a lot of work on myself. Like, don't you think like, what? Like, you don't just get to like, I don't know, like think about it once a day when you're like making your oatmeal in the morning and be like, I am so much, I'm healed. It's like the whole point is your communication between each other. It's like, I mean, it's like the counselor even says to Drew, like, when is enough? Like, here, it was like 2 episodes ago. I can tell you the answer to that.
Yeah.
And then like when she's filming the pass, okay, for one thing I hate because Ralph totally fat shames that assistant.
Oh, yeah.
When they're sitting in the trailer and he goes to get out and he's like, oh, can you even get out of the
seat?
It's like, that was just like, okay, this is where Drew's like, I mean, like, leave him.
Like,
he's not a good person. And he's just so self-involved. Like, he just doesn't have any room for anybody else. Like, the kids aside and everything else, just his relationship with other grown-ups is not good. And when they're, not working on themselves in therapy, he says, like, he loved moving out of the bedroom. He moved out of the bedroom. And, like, she had to text with the kids and explain why. Again, it's kind of like the Tampa thing. You don't get to just leave and not tell anybody. When you leave, you got to clean up your mess. And he's got kids, and he needs to explain what happens. You can't just leave the kids for 3 days and leave the mom, like, not knowing what happened. And you don't just move out of the bedroom and then not explain to anybody what happened. And then counseling, and he goes, well, we have these friends and they sleep in different bedrooms and they're fine. And then she's like, yeah, but they're getting divorced. And then he goes, yeah, but who doesn't get divorced? Or who hasn't got divorced? Like, what is that? Like, you can just tell, like, he can't handle.
It's just so bizarre.
Not having a rebuttal to, like, every single thing. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. So then 2 months after filming wraps, they go back. They could bring the cameras back because Drew files for divorce. They both rushed to the courthouse.
Yeah.
But Drew won.
Yeah, and what was with that whole rushing?
I don't know.
Like, does it matter who gets there first?
Yeah.
I wasn't fully clear.
I was wondering if certain states it matters.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters here. I don't know. I just picture, like, there's like a movie.
I know.
You know, and it's like, here comes his taxi, and here comes her taxi, and then they're running with the paperwork. So the other rumor is that Drew is dating a woman now. So this kind of gives some sort of credence to the whole, like, lesbian kissing issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a woman basketball player named Ty. They're friends from the movie. Although this is confusing too. I kind of thought she was in the movie. She wasn't. She was like a friend of another actor in the movie.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything with the Ty rumor?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there probably is.
You know what's so funny?
I wouldn't be surprised if it were true.
feel protective about it because I don't want I'm going to go outside the franchise here. I don't want there to be anything in the rumor between Kyle Richards on Beverly Hills and her friend, who everyone's like, oh, this woman, the singer, I can't think of her name right now, but they're just friends, but they're being constantly photographed together. The woman has like a tattoo of Kyle's initial on her body.
Oh, I didn't see any of this.
Okay, this is all like this big thing.
Oh.
And it's like, is she cheating on Mauricio with a woman? And everyone's like, no. But the thing is, I love she and Mauricio. Like, I have no problem with her having a relationship with a woman, but I love her and Mauricio. Like, we ship them. So I guess part of me is like, well, maybe Drew isn't doing it because I'm like, maybe Kyle isn't doing it.
but if Drew is doing it, more power to her because Ralph sucks. We don't want Kyle to do it.
And I guess I don't know what the problem is. Again, is you having a relationship during a divorce a huge problem?
You're getting divorced.
Also, is there like an issue with it,
and
with the same sex thing in Georgia that in other states isn't an issue? Like, why is this such a problem?
Exactly. And technically, he filed first. So, hey, you filed for divorce. I'm going to go date somebody.
I don't understand. I don't understand it.
I just think it's maybe because it's saying, okay, then these earlier rumors were
might have been true.
Mm-hmm. And you were cheating on me.
Yeah,
maybe he gets to claim that.
Right. It proves that point.
Yeah. Or supposedly, yeah.
But again, you know what? Did anyone ever ask, but do they have a prenup, I wonder? Like, is this going to be more contentious or has it been worked through a little bit?
Was he like wealthy before, or was she wealthy?
I don't know, but she had been acting.
But she wasn't like a big time actor.
Maybe not. I don't know, but it would make it simpler, I think, if they had one. Although not always. We saw Ashley Darby in Potomac, so there you go. Mm-hmm. I'm just throwing all the other franchises.
No, she had a prenup.
Yeah. She did, and it still didn't work.
Apparently it wasn't written or vetted, or she didn't have a good lawyer look it over.
So my favorite part of the whole season, though, is when we go through all the interviews about the divorce airing. We get to the reunion. And it's like the most tense moment ever on Housewives. So they bring Ralph out. It's just awful. It's horrible. The whole thing is a mess. There's rumors. We're talking about everything. Sheree has text messages. Courtney's brought in. I mean, it's like we're going through this like mini little trial at the reunion, which is just like awful. Drew's, it's he said, she said. It's like this back and forth. And it's just too soon in the divorce. It's like, I really almost think Bravo shouldn't have brought Ralph out because I don't think it added anything. And I think it's
it did. It added this really awkward scene.
We could have just brought him out, but he shouldn't have gotten to talk because I can't stand him.
They should have just sat him out there on a chair so she could sing to him.
So she comes out and sings their
called
breakup
what
song.
Is it? Take out the trash or what was it called?
Oh my gosh, what was it called? And I don't know if I wrote it. What if I didn't write it down?
I don't know. I gotta
How
look
embarrassing is that? You give it a goog.
True. Reunion.
Throw it away. Why did you
throw it away?
Throw it away. Don't throw it away. Why did you throw it away? Or something like that.
Like,
it's a little like, it's a little, I like that way better.
Throw us away.
Throw us away. Now I was just like, oh my gosh, it's not trash day. Did I take out the trash? That's all I can do. Okay, well, he did throw them away.
Yeah.
And so did she, to be fair. I mean, they both did.
At the reunion, she sings her new song because she is a singer.
Mm-hmm.
And she sings this song called Throw Us Away. to Ralph.
I wanted to crawl under the couch.
It's about Ralph.
I couldn't handle it.
And Andy sits on the couch. And Drew sits in like Andy's chair.
And Andy's never sat on the couch before.
Yeah, and he's so excited. And oh my God. So first of all, I know nothing about singing. Like, I don't even know if I'm listening to things. I thought she sounded bad, but I don't know if she did or
I can't tell if it was just so forced.
Right.
Did they run a track behind her?
There was music. Yeah.
Okay, there was.
And there was like the background singers, whatever.
Okay, so then, yeah.
She sounded like not on key or something.
I think it was like, everyone's reactions were painful. Like, it's like you saw everyone trying to like come up with their persona. Like Marla was like closing her eyes, like
trying not to laugh or something.
Sheree was like trying to look like super supportive and like Kandi actually looked the most normal though, I think.
She's probably trying not to laugh.
Yeah. She was probably like, I could have.
Yeah, I could smell way better. Girl, I can.
And then Andy's sitting there like Joey on the couch. Yeah. Like, he's just like so excited to be on the couch. But then
Andy makes this horrified face like.
That was the best moment. It's his like eyes of terror.
Yeah. So it's super awkward because
it's just nuts. Yeah. It's like, I kind of need therapy.
And then after.
Dr. Ken, what do you think about the song? Like,
and then after they asked Ralph, he's like, oh, she's really talented. Yeah.
But there's like this awkward pause for a second. And it reminded me of like when your mom's like, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Like, so for a second, he was kind of like.
During this song, he's just sitting there looking ahead.
It's like he barely even blinks.
Well, I kind of felt bad for him a little. Like, what is he supposed to do?
Can you imagine what was going through his head? Like,
he's probably like,
don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. That's what would be going through my head. Or who wins in this? Nobody wins in a divorce. Or do you want to call it?
I'm going to call it, actually. I think, oh gosh, I don't know.
Don't say Ralph.
I was kind of going to say
no.
Ralph. We don't know yet because the divorce isn't
finalized.
finalized. But I think Drew has some issues and she's coming out looking more desperate. I feel like he looks more confident.
You're right. I think
she seems like she's kind of scattered or like.
You're right. Scattered.
I don't know.
Word. Yeah.
Something's not.
That is true. She does seem a lot more desperate in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I feel like if the rumor never proves itself to be true, then it's kind of a draw. They're just in a bad marriage. But last season, I would have said that he was the loser for sure because he just was so awful. And I don't like the way he is with Allison. And I don't like he's a huge walking red flag. Like there's these moments with him. It's like the controlling and I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. It's like when someone's singing a breakup song right at you. Yeah,
super uncomfortable. I hate it when that happens.
God, all the times it's happened to me, I just never know what to do.
Good thing Thomas can't sing.
Such a common experience. Yeah. You are totally safe. And David can't remember lyrics to anything ever,
perfect.
So we're safe. Thank goodness. Whew. Yeah. All right. Just make sure that nobody moves out of the bedroom and then like lies about it. Like
lies about
also, when she was like, I had the text, like, because her son asked her on text.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Also, that just made me think of like the future with our kids. Like they're going to stop talking to us and they're just going to text us things. Like,
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Like, where are the bagels?
Yeah,
like, that's our future.
Oh God.
All right. So this is, I think, one of our last episodes of Atlanta. We're going to move on to OC after this.
Ock.
Real Housewives of Ock.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward in places too. That's just kind of a subtitle, I think, of a lot of the seasons this year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, remember, housewives bring the drama.
We bring the receipts.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to help support us, please share it with others and leave a rating and review. Also, visit us on Instagram and Twitter, both at RH_on_RH for fun pictures and polls, or email us at rhonrhpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again, and remember to stay out of the shade.